Hello, welcome to the Coloring Oasis. It is my favorite time of the month, which is the time I get to show you all of the things I colored for the previous month. So I'm going to be showing you everything I colored in September 2022. I have a few printables. The last 2 months I did almost entirely printables, but I primarily focused on books this month, but I have about 5 or 6 printables as well. I don't even know how many pictures I have total. I haven't counted, but I guess we will kind of count as we go. This next month, for October, I will be coloring 100% only Halloween pictures, at least 30, hopefully about 40 pictures. Maybe more, and maybe some Halloween into November. November is usually my autumn fall pictures, all autumn and fall, which can include a few more Halloween, just less on the horror side. And then December all the way, of course, is all Christmas. All month is what I color, and then into about the middle of January I still do Christmas, and then all winter scenes. So I love my themed holidays. This is my big book where I keep track of pictures I colored and what I used, only for the more complicated ones, so I can tell you while I'm looking what I used if I don't remember, and that's not very uncommon to not remember. So how about I start by showing you my printables, and since we're starting Halloween, I'm starting my Halloween coloring today, which is October 1st. I will show you one I got a jump start on. This is this adorable printable by Mandala Budek. This is from Etsy. It's my cute little witch girl. For this, I use my Prismacolor Premier alcohol markers for the whole thing. I wanted like a lime green background with that popping purple and some gray and the black witch cat. For these eyes, here and here, in the pumpkin and the cat, I actually used a Sharpie highlighter, like the kind you would use at work, the highlighter. They're really good. Highlighters are really good for thin neon coverage, translucent neon coverage. So that's really about it. I just did this one in like an hour, just yesterday, just to get a jump start on my Halloween, but it was still September technically. So I made some boo-boos on her eyes, but overall I loved her hat. I used a white Posca pen for the skeleton, and I love my Prismacolor Premier markers. They're just glorious and worth every penny. So yeah, that is an Etsy printable, my Mandala Budek. I will link that in the description below if you'd like to give that a try. My next printable, and I have 2 printables by Lana Green. These are Etsy printables. This is the gorgeous vintage birthday girl I did, kind of 1950s style. I have a whole pile of Etsy printables I've been wanting to get to, and a lot of them are by Lana Green or similar artists, where they're very vintage looking. Last month, if you saw my What I Colored in August video, I did 2 or 3 kind of 1940s singer and a 1950s one, which I really liked. For the cake, oh, what did I use for this? Here's an example of, I forgot what I used. So I believe I used, this was, oh yeah. Yeah, so I used my, entirely my Ahuhus for this. Copic markers for the skin, Ahuhus for the rest. And I wanted kind of a pastel theme. I really meant to make her dress more of a pastel yellow. It turned into a bright lemon yellow, but oh well. This was actually the first time I used the glossy accents. So I did the layers of frosting in like a dark chocolate marker, and I put the glossy accents over the dark, and it looks like a dark icing when it's over the dark, but then it turns clear when it hits sort of the tan part of the cake. So I wanted it to look like a glaze or a drizzle, and I think I accomplished that. And I just love the colors of her dress, the yellow and the purple, the little white Posca buttons, and I really love her hair. I used 3 colors of brown of my Ohuhus in her hair and Ohuhu markers for her eyes. So it was really pretty simple. This part took the longest. I did little Posca white pins to fill all the lace holes But yeah, that's about it for my Lana Green printable, again from Etsy. I can link that below as well. My second Lana Green is a beautiful spring picture, absolutely gorgeous. This one I also used my Ohuhu markers. Absolutely love it. For the background though, for this yellow, I use my pan pastels. I think I used 3 shades. I used a lemon yellow here and a little bit of a lime halo here, and then a dark yellow in the 4 corners. And I use the makeup sponges to kind of rub those in. I printed a picture of a spring palette, which had a dark orange, a light orange, a purple, a green, and a yellow. And so I kept it to 5 colors. This stock was a combination of the orange and yellow blended. Oh, and I did add some pink glossy accents though. I'm sorry, pink stickles for her lipstick, pink marker, and then pink stickles for her lipstick and her eyes, because I wanted that kind of pop of spring. And I did use a white pencil to give some of those like little highlights on the petals, maybe like a highlight or some moisture or frost or something like that. But I thought that was super pretty and cute. I really loved it. I just love the spring colors, and we're going in winter now. Everything's going to be darker, so I wanted to get my last couple of bright colored pictures out of the way. But yeah, I loved the oranges in her dress and everything. So that was Lana Green from Etsy. This is my VIP Gold member from Hannah Lynn's Patreon account, the Fall Campout I just did. For this one, what did I use? I used my Artex markers, alcohol markers. I'm labeling these as sisters. And so I did 2 different shades of brown, well, 3 shades in this one of brown, 1 shade of brown in this one, plus the dark highlights. I haven't finished their eyes. I just realized because my pen ran out, my white Posca ran out of ink, so I have to go back and finish that. I did white pencil on the marshmallows with silver stickles for the little shadows where this was actually a grayscale picture, so it was grayscale. And I gave them noses by doing the darker marker here. I just kind of drew in the dark and blended outward with the light. That's how I kind of did their nose sort of shadows. In retrospect, I looked at a few pictures of this done by other people in my VIP Hannah Lynn Facebook account. That's private membership. And I saw these were orange flames in the background of theirs. I thought they were tree branches, so I did them a light brown. So I guess those would have been flames, like where they were roasting the marshmallows and making the s'mores. I did do a white Posca for like the marshmallow cream, and then more of those glossy accents. Not sure if you can see for the cream, and it's kind of textured. I also did a glitter pen for the coffee cup, and a Ohuhu glitter pen. And I wanted all fall colors. Of course, the nice blue sky, the colorful fall leaves falling down. I even have a pumpkin and apple, you know, on her coffee mug. I wanted oranges and browns and the maroon and the yellows and oranges, you know, in the everything here to kind of go with the setting. So I think that looks really pretty. You can get this by becoming a member. It's $5 a month for a basic. I think it goes up to $8 a month if you want the grayscale versions. You get 2 pictures a month. So that is my fall camp out by Hannah Lynn. So, okay, next let's look at my 2 favorites I did by Deborah Mueller from Gothic Charm School. This was from the Etsy version that I purchased, but I also have the printed books. So for this gorgeous girl, I wanted also a fall theme. I actually went to Google and I searched for fall color palettes, and I saw a beautiful picture that had like a beautiful blue sky with an orange and yellowish sunset and a lot of brown trees in the background. I just thought, I'm going to do a whole color palette of oranges, browns, and blues. And that's what I did. I added a little maroon here and here, and her nails. 3 shades of orange in her hair, same color in her bow and here. So I only used 5 markers for this whole picture, and I even left the bow parts white, so, and the skeleton. So 5 markers for the whole picture. And I guess, no, I only used 2 oranges here, and then I had 2 blues and a brown. Yeah, but you can get the brown darker by doing layers, which is what happened here. So basically, I'm tired, you guys. And then I did a little green. I tried to bring in some of the background into her dress. Here's this blue and this blue and this green, so it looks like she's kind of part of the sky. Her dress is part of the sky. And of course, I did the same orange markers for her eyeshadow and her gigantic kind of goth eyelashes. A little bit of white Posca on her lips for highlight. Yeah, I was really happy with her. I love the color pictures, the color. And I'm going to post all of these on my Instagram, so you'll be able to see the actual pictures. But yeah, that was my gorgeous fall girl from Gothic Charm School. This is my second one from Gothic Charm School. You might have seen this. I did do a video tutorial on this one. This tutorial on this one was how to choose a color palette, a Gothic color palette. And in this one, I used all my Copic chows, and I showed, it was again one of those things I searched for Google Gothic color palettes, and I came up with one that had this rose, mauve, white, beige, and a grayish tan, and the wine color. So it was like 5 or 6 colors, and I matched the colors to the closest I could find in the Copic chows, and then I showed you in the video which colors, which exact Copic markers I used, what areas I used them on, how I got these looks. For her lips, I used the 3 colors with the sparkle dust on her lips. And I think it's adorable. Her hair is 2 or 3 different shades of red with some of this pink in it, and I just love. So, I mean, I'm not used to doing pictures with such limited colors. I think I only, again, used 5 colors for this, not including skin tone, and 5 for the other one. In the past, I might have used 15 or 20 colors in a picture. And so there is something to be said when you do limited color palettes. It puts a lot more focus on your subject, and it blends all the elements on the page into your center focal point. So I really like it. I think it turned out nice. Lastly, to get in the spirit of Halloween, I did another one with a limited color palette. This is Spider Girl from Deborah Mueller's Boo Box, which was only available through membership. And for this one, originally I was going to do all in grays, different shades of gray and black. But then I just did the floor gray. And the problem is, I was doing this kind of in the dark, you guys. Like, I'm recording this video super late at night. I thought this was like a gray, but I didn't do it when there was enough light, and it turned out the next day I saw it was kind of purple, so I had to change my theme. So I use a gray, purple, black theme here. Her hair is gray and black. All her stockings are black and purple, different shades of purple, mauve, and then regular purple. Then we have black and gray in the floor, black and gray up here, black, purple and black and gray in her hat. So again, only 4 color shades, black, gray, purple, and mauve. And I also put red stickles. I did red marker in the center of the spiders, and then red stickles, and then I put little white dots on the spiders. Not sure if you can tell, but I had little white dots to them with a gel pen, just because it was kind of boring, to be honest. They were all kind of boring. And I did put some stickle eyeshadow on her, stickle bumps on her hat, a stickle clear stickles for the skeleton eyes, and a stickle collar. I really love my stickle accents, you've probably seen. So yeah, that is my odd 4-legged spider girl from Deborah Mueller's limited edition Boo Box, which is sold out now. And I'm very proud of it, and I love Deborah Mueller's work. I believe that's it for my printables. However, since we're talking about stickles, the last day of September, up until midnight, I was finishing my last picture of the month, which is loaded with stickles, which is still drying because that was yesterday, so I can't close it, but this is from Jade Summers, my beautiful fairy. This is from Jade Summers Cute Fairies Appreciated Grayscale book. And I did this picture entirely with Tombow Alcohol Pro markers. Not the water-based ones, so they don't streak as much. So I did her dress in 2 shades of blue, and then I put pink, 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 put the same pink into her wings. The same blue is underneath the stickles on her wings. So I did it, and I brought all the colors together there. I actually used also my Tombow Pro alcohol markers. There's a skin tone pack, which I used for her skin. I gave her green eyes with green stickles for sparkles in them. And then I just got my stickles that matched the closest color to what's underneath, and I outlined them, you know, and I just kind of rubbed it in with the pointy part of the stickle. So I gave the outline of her wings, you know, the dark blue stickle. I gave her eyes the green stickle. I put stickles on her nails. They're black. I think I made a little boo-boo there. I put purple stickles on the flowers. I didn't put any stickles on her dress, just the rose in the center. Actually, the rose in the center has a Spectrum Neural Sparkle pen, so it's more flat, if you can see that sparkle there. So yeah, this was the last picture I did for September. Still kind of drying. And I brought in the color of the leaves to that background there, and the colors of her dress into the sort of the frame. And I did a peach background. You know what really confused me is the hair. It started away, I just did her hair. It looks like it's short hair. It stops, you know, right here, right? It stops here. But then I saw down here, there's like this hair down here. And first I'm like, what is that? I couldn't tell when it was grayscale and black and white, because it looked like that her hair stops there. But I guess she has more layers down her back, and these are just short layers. So I had to go back in and add the hair. So that is the book. I don't want to close it, but it's Appreciated Coloring Book, Jade Summers Cute Fairies, and I will link it below. I think she's beautiful. Oh, and I put clear Spectrum Neural Sparkle pen on the center part of her wings too. I'm not sure if you can see. Okay. So, speaking of Halloween, I did one little picture in the little Spooklings book that came with my boo box by Deborah Mueller. Just one, and it was kind of an experiment, and I think it's a disaster. So, yeah, look at that. The whole picture was an experiment. First of all, I did the Little Witch and Ohuhu all in glitter pens. Then I used my the gelatos with a water brush to do the background, and it was all like gray and black, and it just looked all swirled, and it looked like it was scribbled by a kid. So then then the jar of Mod Podge I bought came in the mail. I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I put Mod Podge all over the entire picture. Like, cause I'm like, I'd rather risk it on this than a big one. So I literally got a big brush, and I brushed the Mod Podge all over the picture to hide kind of that swirly scribble crayon looking gray background I did. You can kind of see how that gray looked underneath. But yeah, there's a lot of sparkle. Look at, so yeah, the whole page is like glossy and kind of crispy. But yeah, that's like a glitter city here. So, I mean, now I know what the Mod Podge can do. I don't love the background on her, but she was really cute, I thought. And putting it over her face and stuff made it harder to see her details. So that was just my cute little spookling demo from Deborah Mueller's spookling book. Next, I did my very first Disney book from a Disney, I believe, Japanese book. This is one of the books I just got from Etsy. I did a video of my gigantic box opening. I have not aired that video yet, but this book was in it, and I had to color one immediately, which I did. And the picture I did in here is Winnie the Pooh. By the way, this is the Disney Mandalas, and I love it because they're single-sided, and I believe they're perforated. I did have to purchase this on Etsy, and it's only available overseas. There's the one I did. Oh, and then here's my gorgeous Winnie the Pooh. Isn't it sweet? So you see on the other side, it just has like looks like a little postcard or something. So I used my Winsor & Newton markers on this. So it did go through, obviously, but you know, there's nothing on the back. Here's my Ariel. I'm going to do that one next. I love this book. I wish they had these books on Amazon. But it just feels smooth like butter, and it's perforated. You can frame these. It says Disney based on Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. Look at up close my Winnie the Pooh. Isn't he cute? Well, the Winsor & Newton markers are super nice. Very high-end markers. I've never done a demo or showed them to you guys, but they're fairly affordable. Not the most affordable, but definitely more than like Copics. Maybe on par with Uhuhu. But anyway, love the Disney mandalas. I gave kind of the fall leaves around the center. I didn't really plan what colors I was going to use. I just kind of started. And I had a hard time matching the right yellow to Winnie the Pooh. It's kind of splotchy. I used two different yellowish browns. But it's okay. I'm going to do my Ariel next. And here's some other pictures. Belle, Aladdin, Dumbo, Toy Story. Yeah, so that's my really pretty Disney mandala picture of Winnie the Pooh, which is my son's favorite. So I did receive in the mail from Book Depository the Calais Malabrock, which is the children's coloring book by Hannah Carlson. And even though it's a children's book, I love the simplicity of the image and I love her style, so I wanted to do one right away, which I did. This was done, I gotta check my book. That was a new pencil I was testing. Hannah Carlson, Calais. Picture lollipops. This was done, This was done with my Brute Fruiter Square pencils. First time I used them. I used Ohuhu glitter pens for the little star accents and the little candies. And I loved the pencils on this paper. So these Brute Fruiter pencil squares worked really well on here. So I suspect the Brute Fruiter circle rounds will also work on here. I was torn about doing a background because I just love the simplicity of the art on the white paper. Just the objects. I thought, I like this one, like just try, I decided what I'm going to do with this book is just try all my different pencil sets on this paper and use different pencils for every picture and just kind of test them out. So this is a great test book for your colored pencils. But really, the images are so cute. And honestly, too advanced for children anyway, so I just think this is the same as an adult book. I love it. This would be more like this is even more detailed than like a Jade Summer or Josh Dunbar easy coloring. Yeah, so those are my Furnish Square lollipops. And I love this book. So then I received in the mail another Halloween Jumpstart, Matchstick Mouse, Halloween, Morgan O'Brien. Never done a Matchstick Mouse before. So again, I decided my first one became experimental and I regret it because I don't like how it looks. These are easy pictures. I did 2 in one night, I think. Yeah, the first one I did is this one. I thought the mouse was way too dark brown. It doesn't really show up against the black. And I was testing out some new pens. I have these metallics. I think they're Artisan metallics. So I did metallics and metallic glitter pens on everything except the mouse. And it just looks kind of boring and humdrum. It doesn't look right. Like it should have been done with pencils or something. I don't know. After like 10 minutes I was done, so I moved on to the next one, I think. Didn't I? I know there's another one here I did. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, so then I moved on to this one. Again, I was mad at myself. Another failed experiment. This particular one, I decided to try blending 2 different kinds of markers, which was a mistake, because I did the orange highlights, the dark orange, reddish lines first, and then, well, it was still wet, tried to go over with some different markers, and they did not blend. And blend and blend. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So then I decided to try to go over with pencil, and the markers were too glossy, like the pencil wouldn't go over it. So then I went and I got another dark pen, and I thought I'm just gonna take this reddish one and go back over everything. So I started doing that here, but it streaked because I now had that other ink. So the inks were not compatible. So all this red stuff here, it was just a stripe. And I went back in with the red and tried to go over all the orange and make it all kind of red. And it just left streaks and lines, and it wouldn't go over it. It was just a disaster. So not off to a great start with this little tiny easy book. Maybe I will give it another shot later down the road, but sometimes these little cheap books, like, I use to experiment in, so I can save all my quality skills and expertise for the expensive and the really nice work that's going to take me a long time. All right, next I did from the Coloring Cafe, Happy Everything, coloring book for grown-up girls, celebrate all year. This has holidays all year round. It's a nice, cute little spiral bound book, which I really like. And I just did this really cool Zen Doodly pumpkin on all fall colors. I just was like sitting there, I was watching the new episode of The Handmaid's Tale, the new season that came out about 2 weeks ago. And I just grabbed my cheap, these were Albier or some cheap Amazon $30 markers, like really cheap alcohol markers, and I just pulled every fall color I could find from it, and I just did it real quick with no rhyme or reason. I ran out of color, so I had to add 2 little purples here, but I thought it kind of looks like a quilt, like a pumpkin quilt. This book does have some cute other Halloween pictures in it. There's one here, it's fall. Well, that's a fall picture. It's a football picture. Leaves, because it has all the seasons. Here's a trick or treat. Happy Halloween. Cute little witch one. And then it goes, oh yeah, happy haunting. Fall. Happy Thanksgiving. And then it goes into these really cute, unique pictures. And then it does go into, you know, Christmas, and it has Easter and all the other ones in it. I can link this below if you'd like. The Happy Everything Celebrate All Year coloring book, perforated and single-sided. Okay, here's a big one. This is first time I've done a picture in Mermaids in Paradise, an artist coloring book by Denise Clete. This book got a little bent, which I'm annoyed. I have not been able to unbend it from the packaging. I only did one picture. I love the book. It's so like fun and whimsical and charming, and lots of background space to practice background mediums. So I will show you the one I did. Kind of want to get that last feel of summer in here. Which I don't remember what I did. Let me look here. September. What did I use here? Mermaids in Paradise. Okay. So for the sky, I used pan pastels again. The primary sets, 3 colors, 1 orange and 2 different yellows. You can see more orange here, more light yellows, and I just used some of the pan pastel blending sticks. For the boat, I used, oh yeah, the boat and the palm tree leaves. I used my favorite Couture Creations alcohol markers I got from HSN. The skin is Artix skin tone markers. The water is Couture Creations alcohol markers for the blues, and Brutfuner white pencil for the white shadows. And then I went over it with the Folk Art Paint Glitter Pop Unicorn Magic Sparkles for that water glimmer stuff as well. Now, let's see if I can get this close so you can see. I'm not sure if you can see how that looks. See those little bits that look like pieces of confetti? That's actually inside the mixture when you paint it on. Yeah, it's hard to see, but it's like super glitter. So I thought that was just fun. And I used pencils, Brutfuner pencils for her hair, and also Couture Creations for her mermaid floral dress. It kind of has like a vintage look too, with the green palm and the kind of retro 60s skirt. And I love the purple hair. I put the purple here as well. Kind of fun and whimsy. But yeah, this book has lots of room for background space and a lot of the pictures. So I was very pleased with this picture, since it was my first. Moving on to Deborah Mueller. Again, this is Artsy Girls coloring book. My first one in this book, even though I've had it for like whenever it came out, like a year ago. Been wanting to do this one for a long time. Of course, I started with the one that is the Coloring Girl. For this one, I use Sioux Color pencils for my 4 layers of sunset in the background. Copics for the skin, a reddish pink pencil for her blotchy cheeks, and the pink blue, the skirt and the dress, or my Couture Creations markers. Ohuhu glitter markers for the hearts on the bag, and just some like random cheap markers for like the grass and the stars, the ones I don't even know the names of. So yeah, I thought that was really pretty. When I started this, I didn't have any particular color theme in mind. I just started with the hair and the skin, and I kind of just grabbed some colors that were appealing to me at the time, which was the blue and pink, and I branched out from there. So I love my Deborah Mueller, and I think she's cute, and I just wish I could color all day long. Sometimes I do. Next is this picture I did in Floral Fairies by Dover by Carol Ann Craig. This one was a save. It was almost abandoned ship that I saved. And these are kind of portrait-y style. Here's the one I did. I didn't actually intend to do her an African skin tone. I blotched her face by trying to do a new kind of a skin tone pencil I hadn't done before, so I gave up and I went over it with a Copic dark tone. I used the Winsor Newton markers, pink for her dress, purple for her wings, went over them with streaks of stickles to kind of, well, first I took a pencil, pink pencil, and kind of gave some shadows over the marker and on the wings, and then I went over with the stickles, and I did just a lavender, basic lavender background. This here and here was a mixture of gelatos, dry rubbed with a makeup sponge. I used white and yellow. You can kind of see it left some missing spots too close to her neck, because I was afraid I was going to get it on her. I did put stickles on her cheeks and her eyes and her headband and her lips. And her, can you see her nails too? So it wasn't terrible. It was not entirely what I expected, but I was just kind of feeling like doing fairies and pretty stuff before I launched into the dark phase of Halloween pictures. So that is from Floral Fairies by Carol Ann Craig. This is a very nice book. It's all like kind of portraits of beautiful girls and fairies and flowers. Highly recommend this book. This is the first one I did when I started out my month, which is the Brothers Grimm by Forrest Driver. The Fantastic World of Brothers Grimm. This is an amazingly incredible book. The art is fantastic. It's by the Julia Rivers Company. So I wanted to do Rapunzel. It was here. My Rapunzel. And for Rapunzel, I used a whole ton of stuff. I used Prismacolor pencils on the wood doors. Her hair is different yellow markers. These bricks are my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, my old ones I've had for years that I got on HSN, because there's lots of different shades of purplish red are good for bricks, and I did black to outline all the bricks with a black thin marker. All kinds of different a hoo-hoo, no, not a hoo-hoo, these are too splotchy for a hoo-hoo. These are Arteza, that's it, Arteza for all the greens and all the brown trees and the little roses. Pink dress was an hoo-hoo, that one is, with some pencil over it. And that's about it. And I tried to blend some white into her hair. It turned out more yellow than I wanted. I really had wanted it to be like a pale Switzerland, Danish, you know, whitish yellow, but that's okay. So I tried to put white back over it to kind of lighten it up. But yeah, I thought she turned out nice, and I did a little makeup on her face and everything. Not sure if you can see that, but yeah, and I just some kind of even eyelashes and everything. So yeah, that is the Brothers Grimm, The Fantastic World. I did a quickie one I mentioned I would do in an old review, a flip through of this book, The Animal Woodcut Designs by Creative Haven, Deluxe Edition by Tim Foley. And this is so simple. You just need like, these pictures are all just like black lined. All you have to do is put some big chunky markers in there and you'll have the black with it. But I did the penguins, not flamingos, sorry. Penguins, not even close. I did the flamingos with my Ohuhus, 2 shades of pink, 1 single shade of green here, a different shade of green here, a different shade of blue, a different shade of green here, and that was it. No blending. These are all single colors. Super easy. It took me like 20 minutes, maybe 30 tops to do this whole picture. Because it's very simple, because most of the outline, everything's filled in with the black, and woodcut designs are, you know, traditionally those kind of choppy, dark black cutout looks. And so really all you have to do is apply your color over the white parts, and the black shades it in all the right places. Like it has some examples on the inside. So I didn't think I would like it, but it was kind of fun to do, and I liked how easy it was. So I might do some more of these, because I do think they look really cool. There's one on the back too. I do think they look really neat. Yeah, so that is my animal woodcut designs. Why is there something sticky on there? Huh. Don't know. We gotta clean that off. Okay, next, one of my absolute favorites. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have like 7 more books. I did a lot this month. One of my absolute favorites, my first picture in Coco Wiles, Galaxy Queen. Love my picture. I really like want to do this whole book, and I'm surprised I like it. I don't like sci-fi or anything, but I love this book because it looks, to me, it's kind of like vintage. Do you see my picture? I love it. This is like my favorite picture I did. And I gotta look up, it's a little bulgy here still. That's fine. I need to look up what I did because I don't remember. So that's, oh yeah, interesting. So I used, this was the first attempt at using my Winsor and Newton markers. It looks like I wanted, for some reason I could visualize a bright popping red hair and like a 4th of July red, white, and blue look. So I did her suit in the red and blue. I did her hair in a black and red, the same red. Black background was already black, so I did a blue and almost a white alcohol blender marker here that gave it kind of that swirly look in these, and then I outlined it with blue stickles. I gave her halo little things around her buns, stickles around her makeup, on her lips have Spectrum Noir glitter pen, stickles around Saturn, if that's Saturn. And for the gemstone, I was baffled. I did a light yellow and orange pencil in the middle, and I just went over red circle stickle, and then I blotted. I just went like some like orange and yellow stickle blobs in the middle, and I used a little brush and just swirled it in. And like that's what I came up with. But I love it. So I just love sparkle and glimmer, and I love how her eyes look. I mean, her face could have been better, but her eyes look awesome. Look at her gemstone I did. But yeah, this is truly one of those books where you can just go sparkle, sparkle, sparkle crazy. So I was very proud of this. There's several others I can't wait to do in this book. It's a gorgeous book. It really is. Like, I didn't think I'd like it, but I'm in love with it. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, and look at her nails. Awesome. Okay. So that is Coco Wiles, Galaxy Queen, another book I can link below if you want to pick one up. Okay, this one I did entirely in a video. Oh, was it a video? It's a video I haven't made yet. I did purchase the Brute Fruner 520 colored pencil mega set that people say is like too much or too many pencils that some people don't like. And I bought the whole set. It was like $110 or whatever. This is the first book I tried them in, and my goal was to do an entire picture on this kind of paper in those pencils. And I chose kind of more the sort of the pastel-y ones. And this is an Amazon printed book, this Time of Wonders. It's this light kind of grayscale, but it has a little tooth to it. I think it's the Amazon paper, but it's kind of toothy. And I wanted, these are the Brute Fruner rounds from the 520 set, and I was blown away. And so I was going to do a video, I was going to do one more Brute Fruner round picture from that set, and then show it to you guys and show you the pencils and review them. So here it is. Now, I'm not going to lie, it took a long time. It's like 4 or 5 days of working on these roses. I used, like, in one flower, this is the first flower I did, and this is light grayscale, the picture. I used like 4 different purples, as you can see, but you really have to, there really are layering pencils, and you have to barely touch the paper with them. You lay more color down when you barely touch the paper. If you do put any pressure, suddenly it's like the color doesn't show up. It's very strange. So I kind of learned the trick on how to use them. I did my chickies in them, this bow, the umbrella, everything, and I love them. Some people are just like, oh, the squares are better. I like these better. I did the squares in another picture by her, and I like these better. And there's a bazillion colors, so you can't ever get bored. But I just thought this was like a fun vintage looking kind of Easter picture. But here you can see up close what the Brute Fruner 520 set rounds look like. Yeah, so that is from Time of Wonders by Tai Sun. And I will review those pencils for you guys and show you my set. This one, I'm in love. Christina Caron's Fairy and Fantasy 3 grayscale coloring book. I pumped this little picture out just when I was bored for like 40 minutes trying to kill some time waiting for my son to come over. And I got all of her books just recently. I love them. I pumped one of these out really quickly. And by the way, this is like a shiny premium paper. It's shiny. And these are, some of these you can get as Etsy printables. Not all, but some. And it's like a shiny gloss, and your, I'm sorry, the Copic markers, my Copic Chows are what I use. And the Copics just glide over them like there's no tomorrow and lay down the most beautiful color ever. So this is my fairy flower bouquet. Just left it white so we can focus on this beautiful little girl. I used just a chocolate and a mauve for her hair. Took markers. I just used the palest pink Copic Chow here for her dress. And I did the skin tone under it. And then the pink over it so you can almost see like her skin showing through. Copic's on her skin, of course. Copic, I didn't do any glitter or anything on this one. I just wanted strict Copic markers. Since, you know, it's an extremely expensive set. I have the entire Copic Chow set, thanks to my son, but I love this book, and it's just a cute little simple fairy. All of it is Copics, and it's like you feel the shine on this paper, so the Copic ink is perfect for these pages. It just takes the ink and doesn't streak. You don't have to go, everything here is a single layer, and you're done. It was super easy. I really, really love this book, and I love her work. This is Fairy and Fantasy 3 grayscale coloring book by Christina Caron. And I only have a couple left. I did give an attempt at this one when I was trying out some new mediums and doing one from a tutorial, Easy Coloring by Joshua Dunbar. I did do a tutorial, or was it I think I started this picture when I was doing my last mega haul. I showed you guys the Artezas I did for the stem and the flower, and I think I used like 2 different petals were done with different pencils. One was the Artezas, one was the Sharfen, Fairbairn, whatever those ones were. And then I told you I'd finish it off camera, and off camera I finished this mouse with the Artezas. I did not like my background. I totally botched it. I used the Faber-Castell Gelatos, a dark purple and a pink, and there was too much, the hues were too far apart. So when you kind of swirl the stick over and then swirl the pink one and then get a water brush and try to blend them, all you just look like it's like a scribble. Child drew it with a crayon, so I was so bummed about that. I don't like the background at all, but I love my cute little mouse. It just looks like a weird abstract kids crayon scribble background, sadly. But I think I started another one. I was testing some other pens. I did start this one, and this I was testing this gray. I did the Faber-Castell Gelatos again, one color, without blending, with a water stick, to see if I could get it to look normal, and trying to figure out when's the best time and areas to use these Faber-Castell Gelatos. And so I tested that, and I also used them on here. So it turned out pretty good when you aren't blending them and botching them. Same with the clouds. They do feel a little like chalky, like you can tell what they are. So that was really it for this super cute book, Easy Coloring by Joshua Dunbar. And y'all want to see something special? I have two favorites. I can't wait till it lasts. I'm going to show it now. So I just received this book overseas on Etsy. This is the Forest Girls Coloring Book Premium Edition. It's the only edition, the only one that's hardback. Absolutely incredible, heavy, beautiful book. I had to do my first picture in here, and I can't remember what I used once again, because I have worst memory. I need to look it up. That was Deborah Mueller. Julius Beery, Deborah Mueller, Japanese. Oh yeah, so I used my, oh yeah. For this picture, I used the Brunzeel pencils for almost the entire picture, other than some pan pastels for the background and stickle accents. All right. Most beautiful book ever. Love these drawings. Love the artwork. Just kind of Holly Hobbyish and like a young girl living in the Swiss Alps or something. I just love it. Another one. You know, and I did not replicate the picture on the left. I did my own version, which is this. So again, all of the flowers, her dress and hair, were the Brunzeel pencils. I didn't love them in this book. I completed it. It wasn't the best paper for the pencils. I tried to blend them, and you do see some streakies. They do feel nice and kind of oily. I did stickle accents here, and then I did a stickle accent on her bow, on her eyes, on these little butterflies. And again, I did a yellow pan pastel all around here. And then I did a light blue sky pan pastel. I rubbed in with a brush all around. And then I got a water brush and I started to blend it in, but it pulled the yellow out. Like, see how the yellow comes all the way to here? I didn't do that. Like, all I was doing is doing the blue, and I guess my brush dabbed it somewhere, and I brought it all in, and it looked perfect. Like, I think it worked out very nicely. I can show you up close her face. Her lips were a little weird, but overall, I liked it. I was proud of it. Such a nice book. Thick, good quality paper. And I did get her other two books too, but they are paperback. So that's my first attempt. Not only my first time using Brunzeel pencils, my first time in this book doing anything. Okay. I guess I can show you my other favorite one. I'm going to save my other favorite one for last. This is a brand new book, Literary Horror Legends. Did this one early for Halloween. Wanted to get a jump start by Tim Foley. I did The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is this one. So for this, it was really just one of those quick jobs. I just started doing it when I was hanging out. Spectrum Noir alcohol markers for all the rocks. Black artist pit pen for the sky. Faber-Castell Pitt pens for the trees, and Winsor Newton markers for some of the clothes and outfits. I took a lot of layers because these little kind of detail-y books, sometimes the Creative Haven books, end up looking blotchy and I end up having to always fix them. I did a tan horse with gray over it. So I think it turned out pretty good. And I thought it was funny, this little building right here, it's so tiny. Like, it's not even like right to scale. I'll show you. See a little building to the left. Here's my horse. Yeah, so Lynn and Sleepy Hollow. This has Phantom of the Opera and a lot of other great pictures in here, The Metamorphosis. And since I was a literature major in college, I was very excited to get this book. This is another pre-Halloween one I did. This is Bloom Anime Flower Girls coloring book for stress relief. Got this on Amazon. It is a book that generally you can only get overseas, but they had some. And I did a fun witch, my glitter witch. It's almost like the very last page. This picture took so many different mediums. It took a long time. So I knew I wanted blue hair. I did 2 shades of blue, Copics in her hair, dark royal blue for her dress with little purple circles around it. Her hat, I brought in the same blues. Ohuhu glitter pens for the flowers. And her makeup, I did stickles, lips are stickles, stickles. But then I wanted to try the Mod Podge again after that little girl one I did, the Spookling. So I did Mod Podge all over her hair and over the whole hat, just for like this total shimmer effect. Not sure how well you can see. Look at her hair. You see that? I didn't do her face. I just did her hat. Just this total awesome floral, glittery, fun hat and hair. Kind of anime. Oh, look at her eyes and her makeup. I thought she was super fun. And her dress is like a royal blue. You see that? So this is not even the picture I had chosen to do for the month, but for some reason I changed my mind and went to this one, which is the last one in the book. And I did total black alcohol marker for the background because it was white. So that's why you see some of that here. But yeah, so I loved her hat. I love her hair. I think it's super fun. There's quite a few boo-boos in this one, like on her back and stuff, but I was somewhat amazed that it didn't turn out to be a disaster. 2 left for real. This is the other one I did. If you saw it on my channel, a Color Along With Me 4-part video series in Julia Spuri's and Enchanting World, where I did this little pony / My Little Pony, all in Brute Pruner squares, Sharpies, and pan pastels. In the tutorial, I show you the exact colors I used to do the blending on the pony, how I did the hearts. I showed you how to use pan pastels, the 2 colors I used for the sky and the grass, and I showed you how I did it. I showed you in all 4 parts everything I did for this picture, and including the colors. And I told you if you don't have like the markers I used for this, what you could do instead. The tree was done in the Brute Pruner squares, as was this whole pony. And this is that same toothy paper as the one I used for the Brute Pruner rounds, the demo that I was telling you about with the little Easter chicks. Same paper, and they do take both Brute Pruners really well, but I still like the Brute Pruner rounds better on this paper than these squares. So that is the little one I did in Julia Spuri's coloring book and Enchanting World. Last picture, sort of, for real. Okay, I did play, not quite last. I did play with this one, Sweet and Simple. I wanted to just do nothing but faces and practice different skin tones. And write on the back what I used, Artex like 304, 310, until I found new combos that I liked, because I always use the same few and I feel like it's redundant. Like this one is Artex Skin Tone Dark. And I wrote on the back what I use, so if I need a new idea for a skin tone, I can grab this book and just pick some of these combos I liked this one a lot. I started coloring this in our metallic pencils. These are kind of cool. Skip one. So this was more like a swatch book for skin tones, is what I wanted this to become. And some I liked, some I didn't. Some I just practiced getting to know the colors. So that's all I did in this, just kind of experimental. But the last one I did is my Giganto Disney Vitro 100 Coloriage Art Therapy Tome 1 by Hachette Heroes. First picture I've ever done in this gorgeous, expensive, hard, giant book I got from France. And I did it Mickey, entirely Mickey. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but I will try and find it. Here is my Mickey. Yay! What I did, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see all this or not. But this whole thing I did in Arteza pencils. Other than I used my artist pens for the yellows and the blues around the outside. And I did Mod Podge. Again, I did the Mod Podge on their butts, their outfits, and the center heart. So it's not like overkill. I don't know if I can zoom out or not. No, I can't because the low battery warning is coming up and blocking everything. So I can turn this kind of sideways. Not sure if that helps you guys see it. This book is too big to fit in the camera. But it is beautiful and I love it. So proud of it. And this whole book you really have to do in pencils because of the fact that you will, you know, you can go right through. But look, there's nothing on the other side for my Pitt Artist pens. This is the other side, which is the Beauty and the Beast. Nothing showed up on the other side. So pencils, Pitt Artist pens work. Anyway, that is it. You guys saw everything I colored for September 2022. Please tell me in the comments your favorite. And wait until you see what I color in October if you want to see all my Halloween stuff. I'm going to release my what I colored in October video on Halloween on October 31st. So please keep an eye out for it. Thank you so much, and I'd love to hear what you think about my pictures. See you in another video.